Hey everyone, this is second episode of our JavaScript interview preparation series. Today we'll explore something that confuses a lot of developers. Before we get into today's topic, let's warm up with a very simple code snippet. As you can see here, we have a variable and we have a function, and we are trying to access both, like console.log a and get message. So what will be the output? Let's run and check it. As expected, it was showing 10 and how are you. So now here is the twist. If we'll take these two lines and if we paste at the top section, so now can you tell me what will be the output? Give it a guess. Yes, we are trying to access a variable and function before we declare. Let's run and check what will be the output. Okay, so as you can see here, it was showing undefined and it was printed how are you. The function works before even that it is declared, and the variable it was print undefined instead of throwing an error. This is hoisting in action. So if you are talking about what is hoisting, hoisting is a JavaScript behavior where variable and function declaration are moved to their top of their containing scope before code execution. If you are not understanding the definition of hoisting, don't worry. We'll go each line why it was showing undefined and why it was giving the output even before the function was declared. Don't worry. So now what we'll do, we'll run a debugger and we'll put a breakpoint at the line number 2, and let's run the debugger. So as you can see, now we are in the line number 2. Our code is not executed. We are still line number 2. But if you see at the right top, in our global object, the A was already allocated. The variable A was already allocated with undefined. So what do we think? Our get memory also should be there. Let's check, and we have to scroll down a little bit. Here you can see the get message is already allocated. What they have allocated? They have given entire copy of that function. Like when our any piece of JavaScript code runs in the browser or anywhere, basically the two phases was there. Let me write here. There is two phases was there. One was memory creation phase and another one is code execution phase. As you can see here, okay, now it was showing undefined and how as expected. What we'll do is we'll just remove this line and we'll try to run the code. What it was showing? Now it was showing as reference error not defined. A is not defined. So there was many developer having confusion like not defined and undefined, whether both are same or not. No, both are not same. So undefined is something when a variable exists in the memory but not assigned with any value. As you can see already we have showed here, right? If we put here debugger, we can see here we have not yet assigned, but the memory allocation is done, so it is exist in our memory. That's why it was showing undefined. But when we'll remove this line and we'll try to run the code, it was not even there in the global scope. That is the reason it was showing A is not defined. So I hope you understood what is not defined. Even if you're not getting, like, the variable does not even exist in the memory at all. That is basically not defined meaning. Now let's talk about arrow function, like whether arrow function is also working same as normal function or not. So what we'll do is we'll create a arrow function and we'll check. We'll comment this one, and or what we'll do is we'll create another function called get message 2, and where will 2 will be the my arrow function, And what we'll do the same thing. We'll try to access our arrow function. What will be the expected answer? Let's run and check what will be the answer. Okay, so we got a error, that is type error, message to is not a function. So why it was showing, like for a normal function it was giving a like what is expected output, but it was giving error for arrow function. Okay, so we'll run a debugger and we'll check. As expected, we are at the line number 2. Our code is not executed. Now what we'll do, we'll try to find our arrow function in the memory. Let's find it, whether we allocated memory or not. Yes, we have allocated, like their JavaScript allocated memory, but as an undefined, because till now JavaScript knows that this is a variable, this is not a function, because we have assigned like var. So var means JavaScript knows that this is a variable. That is why it was showing undefined. But when we are undefined, that means JavaScript knows this is a variable. But what we are trying to do is we are trying to get a function call, invocation. So that's why this is the problem. This was showing get message to is not a function. I hope you understood this one. Now what we'll do is, now we'll talk about let and const, whether let and const are also hoisted or not. So now if we try to change instead of var let, can you tell me what will be the output for this console.log a, whether it will be undefined or it will be 10 or what? Give it a guess. Okay, let's run and check. Sorry, for variable it was not giving any error, it was just showing the undefined, but for the let it was showing reference error. Okay, let's check for the const as well. Okay, the same thing happened for const also. Cannot access a before initialization. Why? Let's check whether our a is memory allocated or not. As you can see here in the global object, a is not there. It was there with a separate space called script. So this script basically we called temporal date zone, means until we not assigned with an actual value for let and const, we can't access. It is because of temporal date zone. When we'll assign with a value, we can access. That's all about hoisting in JavaScript. In the next episode, we'll deep dive into the heart of the JavaScript, that is basically function. If this video helps you, don't forget to hit the like button. Thank you so much for watching this video. Keep practicing, and I will see you in the next episode.